Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to the next episode review of Spy Family Season 3, Episode 42. And now, after the the tragic backstory of Lloyd, of his childhood, yeah, 41. I always do that, 41. But, and now this episode, was this episode better than the ones, like, the previous ones? Because, I know, the other ones are better because, like I said, it showed both, like, the horrors of meaning of war and Lloyd's tragic backstory, though. But this was a good episode, though, regardless, though. I mean, the first half was focused on the handler, which I don't recall ever seeing mostly a focused episode solely on the handler. So, because usually when we see the handler, she's always, behind her desk, telling what's mission to give Lloyd next, So it was nice that it was well, the first half was about, with her and it's a couple of these other agents that were working with her. And there was like this, so where they're focusing on, like, there was like this singer, and there was like some kind of scandal or some type of conspiracy involving the and of like involving the war between the West and the East. So thinking this singer has something to do with it. So the handler and like this young agent who's like on his second year in the agency, and one of the older agent, which I've seen him before helping with Lloyd. There was also involvement with Bond as well because he had the mustache. So yeah, I've seen him before too from the last season. Um, so like now we see handler, not her like wearing her usual hat and all that, and wearing a different disguise. And they noticed that there was this guy who was gonna plan to take out the singer. Name was named Wellman. So, and the guy, I mean, the guy is not inconspicuous. I mean, or the guy, that's how the guy is. The guy is so wide eyed, like this. I mean, he doesn't look that's suspicious at all, because if you have wide buggy eyes like that, you're not that's inconspicuous. So so he goes in, he's going about planning to shoot the guy, and then Handler just goes and takes off her belt and just breaks the guy's jaw with just a one. So okay, it's first of all, it's nice to see the handler probably doing some getting some action for herself, in this time instead of Lloyd or other agents. So it's nice to see handler handling something, doing something on her own for a change, not just sitting behind the desk. So, and the guy they captured, he's like 52. I'm like, really, that he's that old? So, and we see like she does like this with her shoulder. I think they explained before, like in the very beginning, I guess because we don't know about her age. I mean, fans expect like she's like late 30s, early 40s, maybe. Because they don't confirm her age. So, and I think they mentioned that like she had a daughter at one point. Part of me wants to, after watching it, part of me wants to wonder what's her backstory, because we don't know, probably don't know anything about her history either, except, you know she's probably it's obvious she's older than Lloyd, because Lloyd's probably just in his 30s, so she has to be like late 30s, early 40s. So, and I guess she has some sort of pain in her back or shoulder problems because she was doing this, so probably had like probably was like an old injury or something. But it was nice to see that she got to get in some doing getting in on the business as well, instead of just sitting behind the desk like I said before. So, and then after that, then the last half we just see with now with Anya again, which is Anya is becoming the very much more the main attraction, more than Yor or Lloyd, because first of all, her comedy is always such gold anyway. So, like, she's waiting to be picked up. No one ever came. The bus never came. So Mr. Henderson, best grandpa, comes in and says, "Hey, why don't you come with me and help me out?" And he's like, nah, I don't want to. But then he goes and says, oh, I got some tea and snacks for you. Oh, tea snacks, okay. And I like the fact that because first of all, a lot of times with all the stuff that Henderson is explaining to Anya, she's not fully grasping the whole thing. Because first of all, you gotta forget though, she's a little kid, so she doesn't fully get the big picture like how adults when they explain things. They don't. She doesn't understand adult, you know, languages, you could say, because she's like I said, she's still a little child. So she says, "Oh, she's doing this for her dad's mission," and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get some whole bunch of Stellas now." And but like Henderson is like, he's like with some of the shock look on his face, like, "Oh, that's so shallow," and not quite as elegant though, but. And the whole thing with dealing with the Tetris balls and all this stuff. I mean, and he's explaining about the whole thing about how students work their butts off, to achieve the Stellas. Hey, some stumble, because they go down this hallway where all these top Stellas in the school has been for the past, right? And she goes and tries to show, oh, this one student got six bolts, and yet still became a Stella. So even though you stumble sometimes, there's still potential for you to get all six of the stars. But like I said, the whole time he's explaining this, like Anya's not fully understanding what he's talking because, like I said, she's a little kid, so she's not gonna fully understand grown up stuff. So after that, she goes and eats the snacks. Says, "Okay, I'm heading back home." And, and the funny thing is, after what Lloyd just like after his traumatic episode because he got hit hard with Anya's second bolt and passed out. So when she gets back home, it's like, hey, I want you to help me study for my homework. And Lloyd already assumes she got another one. He was about ready to pass out again. I'm like, don't stop. Don't mention. Anya is like, I'm like, stop killing your dad here, okay? You already put him in a you already put him in a state of like post traumatic experience flashbacks because of your getting another bull again, causing to seize up and pass out for his make him remember his past, and so and then it's like don't say anymore, please. Just go do your homework by yourself. Don't ask your dad to help you, because otherwise you're just gonna end up killing him again. Oh boy. Yeah, but yeah. So yeah, it's I enjoyed the episode regardless though. Now, but I said the last two episodes because focusing on Lloyd's past, those are better episodes. I will still say though, but regardless, though, I still enjoy this episode. Like I said, Anya once again, it's always brings a smile to my face. Never failed to make me laugh. And I like this. The first half of the episode, we got to see the handler doing some business this time. Getting a little bit on the action this time herself because they said that Lloyd he needs more time to recover because of what happened. So that's why she decided to go in herself though. So it's nice that she got involved instead of, like I said, just for sitting behind her desk and just giving missions to everyone else. So it's nice that she got to do something for a change. I like that. I guess it shows that she is still capable of doing a job still, instead of being just like the head boss, still acting the boss. Well, she is the boss still though. But it was nice to see her get involved for a change. But anyway, yeah. So episode 41, really enjoyed it. But like I said, the two episodes focusing on Lloyd's past was still better though. So anyway, but episode 41 of season 3 of Spy Family, I still give a thumbs up regardless. So like I said, the mixture of what the focusing, because I do like when episodes are focusing on more on the side characters, not just on the main characters. Like I said, like with Frankie, or with Damien his friends, or Anya's friend Becky, or the other ones like Yuri or whoever else. But the handler too as well. So I like it. Just gives their time to get it in on the picture instead of just the main trio here. So thanks for watching and stay tuned for more, and getting down to the last week of Halloween month, and we'll stay tuned for those other movie reviews. Later.